It's a Monday, and it's Sportskeeda Wrestling's top story of the day. Roderick Strong wants out of WWE, and we're also talking about some other big news in the world of wrestling. Are we getting this Roman Reigns Drew McIntyre match? What the heck happened with Backlash and the shakeup right before the pay-per-view? Veer Mahan talking about his road to WWE being a little bit more challenging than you thought. UpUpDownDown is back on YouTube with Xavier Woods, and we're not done there. John Cena getting in the booze game, and so much more. Share that link or you stink. It's Sportskeeda Wrestling top story.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
If you're not watching in, you're definitely watching out. Here we are.
Watch out.
What's going on, everybody? I am Kev Kellam. That is Jose G. Jeremy Bennett in Nebraska, if you ask you. All right. If you're with us for the first time, don't make it the last time. We are here every Monday through Friday, right around 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. And you can turn your notifications on YouTube and Facebook to find out exactly when we go live. We also have Vince Russo with us every Monday night after Monday Night Raw. Dutch Mantel joining us Friday nights after SmackDown. You can watch those shows on demand. Even if you're not live, you can still be in the conversation. If you're watching on demand, go ahead and get in the conversation. We will. I'll be talking to people after the show tonight. We have a lot to get into. A lot. I like to see the diehards that are with us as well. Love seeing them. I love seeing
the Watch Out Army is here, guys.
29K now. 29K.
Yes, 29,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much.
And a shout out in Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Yes, we did. We did make the recent episode. Yeah. We're not in the top 500. We're not in the PWA 500, but we did get acknowledged in a rundown of different wrestling podcasts. So we got 7 out of 10. I'll take it. I'll take
7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 mics. I'll take it. It's above a 5.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad for me. 7 out of 10.
It's a passing grade.
All right, let's jump right into the news here. A certain WWE superstar in NXT reportedly wants out of the company. Roderick Strong reportedly has requested his release from WWE multiple times. What a tumultuous run for him. He is the final member of the Undisputed that is currently in WWE. The rest are over in All Elite Wrestling. He's had quite the run in WWE. He held the North American Championship in NXT and recently the Cruiserweight Championship. His wife was released from the company. She was supposed to join him in the Diamond Mine faction. That actually never materialized, and he's the only member left of the Diamond Mine faction. Another one after the Undisputed left in WWE, as there was the wave of releases last week, and Malcolm Bivens was included in that, and his manager for quite some time. They were even doing he had an angle with Malcolm that kind of really never got fulfilled on television either with that release. So he wants out. That's a word reported here by Fightful Select. Any more details on that, gentlemen?
Nah, just the fact that they wanted him to change his name like they are to everybody that WWE does not own in NXT. They basically have changed everybody's name without a rhyme or a reason, or if they give a rhyme, it's pretty stupid. I've seen some of the Instagram posts and excuses.
It's a licensing thing, man.
They make no sense. People are not going to follow who is Katana, whatever the hell her last name is.
Katana Chase.
Whatever Kaylee Ray's new name is, people are going to be like, who? You know, it's stupid. But anyways, and that's what Roddy Strong thought too. He thought it was stupid and has asked for his release several times over the last few months. Of course, the original Diamond Mine was supposed to be Marina Shafir, Tyler Rust, who is been long gone. And in the you can see him sometimes in GCW and other promotions. Arturo Ruas, who is I'm not sure if he's anywhere. I think he's been on some AEW dark matches. Of course, Malcolm Bivens, one of the most recent releases. Hideki Suzuki, he was a release several months ago as well. So basically, everybody from the original is gone except for Roddy. There are many within the company that were surprised that Strong was not included in the recent release that happened last week here as well. But it's clear he wants out, and we pretty much probably know where he would be going if he does get out, and that's going to be joining the Undisputed Elite in AEW.
I think that's fairly obvious.
Yeah.
You know, that he would go to All Elite Wrestling. But you know, wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to do the New Japan thing or do some other things or play the independent circuit.
It could fit. It could fit that he goes elsewhere. while this Undisputed Elite runs its course until the Young Bucks split away and either join with Hangman or join with Omega, whatever kind of direction.
I wouldn't go there now. I would not go there now. I would not go. I would wait.
Yeah, and he will only have a 30-day non-compete. So if he gets released, it would be a 30-day non-compete. I'm not sure when his contract is up. I don't think there was any news on that on Fightful. So
I'm honestly really surprised about how he is even still in WWE. I thought he would be gone by now, or even getting his release granted, or even being released last Friday. I was expecting him to be on that list, and he was not.
But WWE said no. They want to keep him.
And currently, according to WWE sources that spoke to Fightful, there are no plans to release Strong as he factors into their creative plan. What is that creative plan? Because that creative plan included a rift with Malcolm Bivens, who they just released. So now it's
do you think that's a call up?
Where do you put him? Where does Roderick Strong fit in the main roster? That's the problem. Where do you fit him among powerhouses and all these guys that are just on the top in the mid card? Where do you fit Roderick Strong?
Yeah, and does he get by? I mean, will he get by without, not a name change, which he said he's opposed to? So
the name change thing, I'm already looking at Gunther, and I don't see him having a problem with it. Maybe because he got to do it in NXT first before he went to SmackDown.
But people that follow Roderick Strong know Roderick Strong.
They know
from many years of him.
But my issue is, what is the name? If the name is so bad that he wants out. You know what I mean? We don't know what that name is, right? But so we're not. That's the going word, is that there was a name change. He's like, I'm not having this. So, the thing is, if that's the case, is the name so bad that he wants out? If it's so bad, or
on top of that, there's so many.
I just don't want to. I'm not fitting into this.
Well, on top of that, there's so many name changes now. You don't know who's who. They did so many name changes at once. The general public that's looking into this is going to go, who the hell is that? When they mention a name, they're not going to know who they're even speaking about right now, because they've changed so many names at once. And so, and Roddy probably felt he was going to saw that and probably felt he's going to get looped into this whole inconsequential thing, and people are not going to remember who he is. And I don't know. I think all the name changes at once is really going to hurt all those people that had their names changed, to be honest with you, unless they're on TV every week.
And then if you're going to do it, why didn't you do it when they were in NXT and they signed with WWE
exactly.
right away?
Like, that thing should have been done from the get. Like, even before he made his TV debut, he already should have had his name changed if they wanted to do that. So
yeah, having people that have been there 2-3 years and do it is kind of ridiculous, to be honest, because it lessens their value.
Christopher Ryan Cooper chiming in here about possible matches he would want to see. He'd want to see Roderick versus Finn Balor. He'd want to see Roderick versus Ricochet, Roderick versus AJ Styles, Roderick versus Kevin Owens, Roderick versus Sami Zayn. Yeah, there's possibilities there. It's not like there isn't matches there.
Again, these matches are all great dream matches for the hardcore fan. But if you go back to the regular WWE demo, the children's, the families that are watching this product, they're not going to know who Roderick Strong is, and they're not going to really appreciate what he brings to the table, right? That's the thing. Where do you fit Roderick Strong? What kind of character can he play on the main roster? That's the question.
I'm not the devil's advocate, nor am I WWE's advocate. I just think he's a really, really talented guy. You know what I mean? If you're WWE and you got him under contract, you just want to let him go just because he wants to go. They're not going to let everyone go because they want to let him go. They got you under contract. They got you under a deal. If I was All Elite Wrestling and I had somebody who wanted out, the word was Brian Cage wanted out, right? Well, I don't want to let him go. No, because he's going to go over there. Like, if I have something I can do with him and I want to do it, hang out for a while. Let's figure it out.
Yeah,
we're going to.
Then they ended up extending him, and now he's pretty content from what the word is on the street. So,
well, he gets to go work indie matches and do what he wants, and he gets his downside guarantee or whatever that is. Like,
and he might be a top guy in Ring of Honor once that gets relaunched fully.
True, but that's all. It's all speculation. There's still so much we don't know about this situation with Roderick. We just know he wants reportedly out, and why exactly? The name change is the main thing. And obviously, you see all the parts moving around.
Well, I don't think that's not the main thing. He's had
a contributing factor.
He's had
contributing factor.
frustrations with creative,
Sure.
and I think a lot of it is the switch to 2.0. I think he's not like that direction. I think there's a lot of things he's questioned on that, and that's just kind of what a lot of people that have been from the black and gold kind of see.
Let's get into this release thing that came up today. So this was reported, and this kind of contributes to this story as well. Reportedly, WWE is looking at the idea of doing a wave of possible cuts every 90 days. This is reported. No one from the company has officially said this publicly, and I don't think they would either. And this would be only applied to NXT. It is a division where you're fighting for spots. It is a division where they've already said you're only getting signed to loose deals. This is just more of a refined look in terms of the time. The reaction to it is obviously negative. You're like, releases WWE. There's just vitriol that gets tied to those two words together. From what we know, this does not apply to the main roster. I never thought they saw any cuts on NXT, so would there be cuts on the main roster? We saw a lot of pressure on that. People were asking me about this yesterday. I had some people reaching out to me saying, like, hey, is this happening? I was working some independent events as this was happening as well, and I was asked about it. Like, hey, do you know what's going on with this? And I don't. And there's a lot of people that are expecting some, but here's what we do know. There is a look at doing cuts quarterly within WWE to NXT in the Performance Center, which would then have it operating no differently than a collegiate athletic program.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily quarterly. I think it's the fact that each individual talent is given 90 days to improve. So they're not necessarily doing cuts on the quarterly. They're giving a talent 90 days. And if they don't show improvement, which in this case with the most recent round of cuts, Parker Bruno. And I kind of wonder if Draco Anthony was in there, but I thought Draco looked pretty good in the ring.
Draco was pretty smooth, yeah.
I thought Persia Parada was pretty good in the ring. I think Dakota Kai, Malcolm, and Dexter were more budgetary, but Harland and Persia and Draco might fit into that 90-day thing, which is kind of weird, but I guess maybe they're looking for something that we aren't, Jose. I don't know.
And again, this isn't anything new under the sun. When we started hearing about this transition from NXT to NXT 2.0, we already had heard from some reports down the grapevine that there were going to be cuts from performance issues. So if you weren't performing, if you weren't hacking it, you're out of here. And we're seeing that. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm telling every single one of you, don't be surprised, because this is going to be the norm from NXT. Every 3, 4, maybe 6 months, I'm just throwing numbers out. We are going to see some people get cut because of performance.
It ain't no different than a pro sports team.
Yeah, and also, especially with NXT, you have people competing for those spots. Just like there's people competing for spots on the main roster.
Especially with NIL. So many more people are now coming into that program with NIL and things like that.
And they have a recruiting class that brought in that we haven't even seen get on television just yet either. You know, so and that was
the only one from that recruiting class is Roxanne. So that's been featured on TV, but we know why, because
she's pretty damn good.
Yeah, she already had the reps. She already had the reps. Let's get into this one. We were supposed to get at the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view, WWE Wrestlemania Backlash this weekend, a tag team unification match with that man on the left there, Roman Reigns' cousins, the Usos, the reigning SmackDown tag team champions. We're going to take on the Raw tag team champions, RK Bro, in a title unification match, similar to the unification match we saw at WrestleMania for the world titles, the Universal and the WWE Championship. Roman has both those titles. There's been a going talk of a Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns title clash. And let's emphasis on that word clash there. Some other elements came together. And then on Friday, this week's Friday Night SmackDown, they're doing a title contract signing. Roman gets in the ring. He starts whomping on people. He rips up the contract. Drew McIntyre hits the ring. They clear house. And then Adam Pearce, under the pressuring of one Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns' advocate, makes this title unification match now a 6-man tag team match. A long-anticipated tag team battle between these two teams is now no longer consequential. It has a title match tied to it. This has been reportedly done to hold off on doing Drew versus Roman, but still getting an ability to get them both on the show together in a limited capacity. And you still get to have Roman on the show. And this is just an odd reversal because you were building to that tag team match. This just seems like a last-minute adjustment change. But Roman's such a big star, you got to get it on the pay-per-view, right?
Well, here's what makes no sense. I thought we were pushing Shinsuke Nakamura, and you could have easily fed him to Roman on this pay-per-view. I think the bigger issue was not...
And also, Nakamura could have a great match with Roman. And even if Roman wins, they could just have a great match. The
bigger issue is I think we're looking at the other side of the coin in terms of why they did this. I think they were going to have the Usos go over RK Bro and have Randy Orton turn heel. And I think Randy vetoed that. And so he goes, I don't want to do that. I'm having too much fun with what I'm doing right now. They're hotter than ever. He goes, I don't want to break this up. And I'm thinking that that's what happened. And Randy kind of put his seniority down and kind of made the change there. Because I think that's how that was going to go down.
All right, well, that's what we think how it's going to go down. But this plays into more talk here recently from Drew McIntyre, who is a part of the current WWE European Tour, which had some crazy stuff in it this weekend. Bobby Lashley falling out of the ring when the top rope broke when they were in Newcastle.
Oh, that was scary.
It was very, very scary. But on that tour, obviously everyone's talking about this upcoming Clash at the Castle show, which I think is a great name for a show. Clash at the Castle.
Good name for a mobile game, too.
Yes. So they announced this, and Drew McIntyre has been a big proponent of that. We've been talking to him for the past year and a half in multiple interviews directly, and he said that to us. And so he says the dream at that show for him now is to take on Roman Reigns for the championship. Mm-hmm. And that is a long ways away.
It's a lot of stretching. It's a lot of stretching.
Definitely a lot of stretching. First, I want to just say that I am absolutely annoyed that we spent 3 weeks on this buildup for this tag team unification match. And they were doing it so well. They were going on SmackDown. They were going on Raw. SmackDown and Raw. I'm invested. I really want to see this happen now.
Could have main evented. It could have main evented the pay-per-view.
It could have closed out Backlash. Yes. And now all of a sudden we have this.
And you can have Roman at ringside. You can just have Roman at ringside.
He could
acknowledge me.
But no. He needs to be involved in a 6-man tag match with absolutely no payoff, no build-up. Drew McIntyre was just in a steel cage match earlier in the night. I mean, I was just absolutely baffled on what they did this past Friday.
And have they forgotten about Nakamura?
And they forgot about Nakamura, right? That you could have easily pulled the trigger on that. What happened? No clue. Just really pissed off about that. Do I want to see Roman and Drew? Absolutely, I want to see Roman and Drew. It just has to be at the right time. I don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah,
they really want to see Drew and Tyson. I want to see Drew and Tyson at Castle.
At Castle,
I want to see that. I don't want to see Drew versus Roman for the title at Castle. I want to see Tyson versus Drew at the Castle.
There was absolutely zero reason to start this feud last Friday. It made zero sense. Tearing up the none of that made sense at all. I don't know.
I liked the angle, but I knew what was coming out of it. I was like, what? Like, it was a fun angle to watch play out, but then afterwards I'm like, what? Like it's like, come on, dude. You had something here.
Yeah, you did have something here, and
there's some cool stuff you could have done with Roman otherwise. You could have done, and I thought Drew had a fun cage match with Sami Zayn. Just throw Roman in there, do it a triple threat. Like there's other ways. I don't know. It was something else.
Yeah,
sound off in the chat if you would.
God, you could have done Nakamura and Reigns on the pay-per-view, and you could have saved the cage match for Backlash, because that's been a fun feud with Drew and Sami.
I can imagine the conversation, the meeting right before they went on air. So, sir, what do you want to do right before the main event? I mean, Backlash is next week. I mean, Roman's still not in that main event. And, we've been really pushing that tag team unification. Are we still doing? No, we're not doing that. We're going to put a 6-man tag match with no titles on the line.
A what?
What?
A what? You heard me.
You heard me, pal.
No world title match on this pay-per-view either, then.
No title match, Kevin. I'm beyond annoyed. Can you tell?
So this is going to close the show with piss poor build compared to what we had for a build for the tag match.
For real. Yeah, you nailed it right on the head, Jeremy.
Let's move on. Veer Mahan He has reacted to his WWE return. Veer Mahan has been in the WWE system for quite some time. Certainly moving the needle over the seas in India. There's been a lot of metrics saying that fans over there are reacting to Veer and his WWE presence. Recently went on the record about his return to WWE television, which was built to for months and months and months and became a meme on the internet. He came. He's here. But what did he have to say about it?
Props to Jeremy Lambert at Fightful.com for the great article title for today. Veer on finally coming on WWE Raw after 6 months. It felt great. It was worth the wait. He even rhymed in there. Even rhymed there. Props to Jeremy Lambert. I told Jeremy on Twitter today, all Veer articles have to be written by you going forward, which I think they have been anyways.
Oh, I get it now. Oh, that's gross.
Well, welcome to wow. Oh, I get it now.
You're a comic, Kevin. Come on.
I'll read that one more time for Kevin.
No.
Veer on finally coming on WWE Raw after 6 months. It felt great. It was worth the wait.
No, thank
you.
All
right. So Veer was interviewed by Sony Sports via ITN, and on his re-debut, he says it feels great. Does not feel like it was me alone who joined Raw, but 1.4 billion Indians, plus the fans all around the world who have joined with me. I know we've waited for 5 or 6 months, but I think the wait was worth it. It was worth it for me. It was worth it for all the fans around the world. We are seeing that energy. I felt that energy transformed just as soon as I got my entrance. For them to me, and I was able to give back to what they have been waiting for so long.
I mean, Veer is I wouldn't say he's an earth-moving character, but I mean the matches have given him, he's squashing people. It doesn't really have a storyline right now.
It feels very much like Rusev early on.
Yeah, and it's still fairly new, but I don't understand.
It's funny that you mentioned. Sorry to interrupt you there, Kevin, but right now, if you look right. We got the Indian version of Rusev on Monday Night Raw, and we have the Indian version of Braun Strowman on NXT with Sangha.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same attire.
He wears the exact same thing that Brock does.
Same exact attire, hairdo, tank top. It's Indian Braun Strowman.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, the gear is exactly like Braun's. I noticed that last week when he was in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Certainly interesting here. A lot of ridiculous comments here. UpUpDownDown is back on YouTube. What a transition. This has been teased for a while.
Did you say up?
UpUpDownDown. I said that. All right. So UpUpDownDown is back online here. This has been dormant, kind of on hiatus for quite some time. You had Xavier Woods doing the new show, Attack of the Show, and all the different things he's doing on the G4 channel. The video gaming channel has been relaunched by NBC Universal.
Love that stuff.
And then, of course, he's been active since coming back from injury in WWE. And then there was a talk earlier this year that all the creating collaborators were kind of like holding off because they didn't feel like Xavier was getting the fairest deal. It's worth noting WWE owns the UpUpDownDown channel. They own it and operate it. And obviously, Xavier Woods is the main video game hosting personality of it and wasn't going to continue if he's doing the G4 thing. But now we've learned more. Jeremy, you know this world oh so well. Tell me about it.
UpUpDownDown, the official account on Twitter, had posted a tweet earlier this morning with a action figure of Xavier Woods and a little graphic above it with the old continue countdown, as you may see on the old Street Fighter arcade machines. And then it was announced that they're going to go live at 3 p.m. and press start on UpUpDownDown. So it looks like they were going to do a live stream from what I see. But yeah, I mean, as Kev said, a lot of people thought he was not getting his recognition monetary wise for all the work he put into it. And a lot of the contributors to that channel have been let go by WWE as well. Now that's another thing maybe WWE needs to look at and maybe allow past wrestlers to contribute to that channel. It may be because so many of them, Adam Cole, Cesaro, Jessamine Duke, Dakota Kai, they're all Mia Yim, Tyler Breeze. Those were all main contributors to that channel, and they're basically all gone from WWE now. So they had to basically do a reset because of all the cuts.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And also, it makes sense with everything else he had going on, too. Like, he had a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. He's on Attack of the Show at least every week, if not, he may take a week off here and there, but he's on there live Thursdays, almost every Thursday. So.
Yeah, and then that's travel. Also, he's still wrestling in WWE. He's still making his dates. So he has to film this while he was in the road, which is something he was doing already, and when he built it up and then they bought it from him and then they employ him and they get him more money. So it's just things change and you have to adjust to it. And then you have wrestlers who are contributing to it that aren't with the company anymore. So
yeah, so there's a video that was just posted. I have not watched it yet. Just basically a welcome back to Up Up Down Down, about a 3-minute video.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of more of a vignette, and I'll probably watch it later. But it's probably going to be I'm guessing just by looking at the thumbnails and stuff, kind of Xavier kind of I think he's probably breaking down kind of what the channel is going to be going forward. If I'm to guess,
they did do WWE 2K22 launch content, so it isn't like they weren't doing anything.
Yeah,
Just,
that was
the main
about all they
focus.
were doing. Yeah, that was about all they were doing.
was
But
about all
plus, yeah, I mean, yeah, Xavier was busy with G4, and everybody else was gone from the channel. But yeah, the party right there, Rico. Man, the party, man. I especially during the pandemic, one of the things I looked forward to the most was every Wednesday when the new match of Uno came on, because that was always so entertaining and so fun from those guys, and they loved doing it too. So yeah, that was a treat to see. But yeah, I'll have to, if anybody has watched that video from today, let us know what Xavier said. I have not gotten a chance to do it yet because I basically go from one job to another here when we go on the air. But yeah, basically a 3-minute video, and I think it's probably what to expect going forward is what my guess is.
John Cena is following the Rock's playbook here. He will be getting into the booze game, launching his own line of cocktail spirits.
Oh yes.
I love me a good old fashioned.
Yeah, he's not wearing. Why isn't he wearing jorts in this? He's just posing in a suit.
How do you know?
Oh, maybe he has formal jorts on.
He might have jorts on below. You never know.
Yeah.
Might be like the old.
He has a suit, but then
maybe he's rocking
formal.
like the Pat McAfee, tux, the dress shorts.
It's like the newscasters on TV. They're wearing boxers underneath. You don't know it. All you see is their suit top. So.
It's got to let those calves breathe. Tell me about this, Jose.
Oh man, this is exciting news, man. So John Cena, along with several other celebrities, they announced that they're going to be a co-founding partner with a new cocktail business. He's partnering with Thomas Ashbourne of Craft Spirits. As per Bloomberg, the brand will be debuting later this month with pre-mixed, ready-to-drink cocktails attached to certain celebrities. Cena's drink that's attached to him is that old fashioned that you see right in front of you. So we're seeing more and more of these athletes getting into the spirits game. We've seen The Rock massively scale Terramana in the last few years. He was just recently in Mexico, got a whole new farm and is expanding his Terramana business to a global scale now. And John Cena's doing the same. So there's definitely good business for them on their end now that he's not as active in the ring anymore. He's getting a lot of voiceover work, a lot of acting gigs, and now he's got this co-founding deal with the spirit company. So
yeah, you hear his voice everywhere now on commercials.
Oh yeah, he's on Honda. He's on the pistachio commercials. He does everything. He's
like, I think it's Honda. He does one car company, I know. I tell you what though, man, as a man that is a fan of the old fashioned, I don't know if I would like a pre-mixed old fashioned. That just does not sound good to me for a fan. For someone
if you're
that's
a purist, I totally get you. But hey,
Yeah.
if you're at home and you don't want to spend the time making an old fashioned,
True. Getting
that orange zest and twisting it and
the
getting
bitter.
that
It is a lot of work.
Jeremy, I just don't think you can see it. That's the problem, isn't it? I just don't think you can see it.
Jesus.
Really? Come on. Come on.
That's as bad as Jeremy Lerman's the hot batch line he had earlier. Come on now.
It is a lot of work to make it an old fashioned, but
it is, dude. For just that little bit, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes to prepare.
I don't make my own at home. I pay a bartender to make one for me is what I do.
Exactly.
Agreed. And then we also have some other things. This is curious. What do you think of this business that Austin Theory is getting himself into? He's been kicking the can in the John Cena direction recently, putting up a graphic of himself and John Cena at SummerSlam. He also made sure that he shared some videos on social media this weekend at WWE's live events where he went right up to a young fan wearing a John Cena t-shirt in the front row and just cut a little promo on him in front of as many fans as he could.
That was good.
And made sure this kid was all decked up in his John Cena gear, and he made sure he went off on this one particular fan in general. There's been rumors and rumblings that it's summertime. So that's John Cena time, just like it was last year. That could be the summer of Cena again, with John Cena coming back for a brief run in WWE.
He's the chosen one. He's the chosen one. So does it surprise you that they would pair him with John Cena at a major event?
At all. Not at all. Not.
And
at
I
all.
mean,
That makes sense. Or even Money in the Bank.
Some people may not see it, but I mean, we've all probably agreed that we've seen the talent there in theory, and he's very young still, very young, youngest United States champion in history. I don't know if that is WWE history or if that even goes back, because this title actually is lineage all the way back to NWA and WCW. So I don't know.
How old was Randy Orton when he got the world title?
He was the youngest.
23.
Like 24.
I think
before him it was The Rock at 27.
Yeah.
So, and he's 25 now. Theory is, so he's not the youngest champion.
Did
Randy
Randy win it before Brock and Brock broke Randy's record, or was it vice versa?
What did you say? No, I think it was.
Did Brock break Randy's record for youngest champion?
Brock did it first. Brock was
okay. So Randy broke Brock's record. Yeah. Okay.
Brock did it. Brock did it in 02, and then Randy did it again.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
04. 04.
Well, he's the youngest United States champion.
Yeah. I wonder. Like I said, I wonder if that goes all the way back to today. Then it could. It could go all the way back, and it's just telling you that. It does it feel different than Drew McIntyre to you guys?
What do you mean?
Remember, Drew McIntyre was the chosen one, and that flamed up fast. This feels a little different.
But also
this feels a lot different.
This feels like it could
part
stick.
of it is where Drew was in his life. Drew's been open about that. I mean,
my God, Austin Theory was born the year I started my senior year of high school.
Don't resent the youth, Jeremy. Don't resent the youth.
Old man yells at clouds.
Yes, and those clouds are holding United States championships, and I don't think you like it.
No, I've been a fan of Theory. My podcast co-host is not a fan of this push. I've been a fan of Theory from the beginning. I could see the talent. I watched him in Evolve, so that's why I was kind of excited that he. I was excited.
Remember,
when
if you don't like wrestlers, you can just root for them to lose matches. By the way,
yeah. I said I like Theory.
Solves
so
the problem real quick.
I don't know where you're going there. I said
Jerry. I'm just saying when people like I hate this guy and I don't like that he's getting a push, but he's also a villain. Boo him! Just boo the guy. There you go. I'm just talking about the general idea of like I don't like this person getting a push. It's just like just boo him. It's okay.
Yeah,
just boo
him. And they
still
like
make GF boo him.
And they make just as much money if you boo them as you cheer them, as long as there are no crickets.
Yeah,
some noise.
All right, yeah, definitely want to shout out the Watch Out gang, the people who are with us every single day. We really appreciate that. A lot of good content coming up this week. Over on Instagram, you can check out the short Mania Minute clips that we've been dropping. These are trivia challenges.
Backlash week, baby.
Seconds. We have Backlash ones that just rolled out. We have a handful of those dropping down as well. A new episode of The Bro Show is up on our Instagram right now, on our YouTube as well. That's with DDP and Vince Russo actually talking about Austin Theory. Is he the next John Cena and all these John Cena rumors? I'm going to sneeze any second right now. And we have a lot more. We have a lot more content coming up. Thank you, friends. Muting the mic there on that one.
I was trying to unmute you, but I didn't get it on time.
That's all right. You didn't get it in time. We will be busy this weekend with, of course, WrestleMania Backlash post show as well. So make sure your notifications are on for
Sunday.
It's pretty cool. Some pretty cool stuff.
It is a Sunday pay-per-view, right?
I believe it is a Sunday pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Or Sunday premium live event, Jeremy.
Yeah, whatever.
PLE.
It's a PLE, guys.
PLE sounds like something you eat from the army.
These rationed PLEs, man.
Yeah,
they're not good. They're no home well. I'll be busy this weekend.
Dry.
You can check out Jeremy and all the different podcast stuff he's doing outside of the Sportskeeda Network. Give him that Twitter. Baby.
Oh yeah, I'm making a couple appearances Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. So go to @JB Huskers. The details are there.
Jose G. You can follow you at Jose_G_official. I was on your brother's podcast last night. I wasn't to analyze this.
Nice.
We got into Flavor J. We talked some Flavor J.
No, y'all do not want to know what Flavor J is. And with that, let's close the show out.
Where are we getting the show? What is Flavor J?
You do not
That's
know.
it. We're done.
You do not need
We're
to
done.
know what Flavor J is.
Coming
All
soon
right.
to TikTok.
Yes. I'll be doing some cool stuff. I'll tweet about it as well at Kev Kellam. Thank you guys so much. Remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing, which is what?
You got to enjoy wrestling. Like Flavor J.
Yeah.
Where's my old?
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!